Hi, my name is Delmarshae Walker, and I hope everyone is doing great today. I want to kind of share a story about my past relationship with my son's father. With our relationship in the beginning, it started off good. You know, we're getting to know each other. We're young. We're happy together. We're in love and everything like that. But for some reason, the relationship got bad. I'm not sure what actually happened or when it took a turn, but it did, you know. In our relationship, he was not faithful to me. He became verbally abusive, mentally and emotionally abusive. And when it came to the physical abuse, you know, I come from a dysfunctional family, and I was used to, you know, with my brothers, I fought them here from time to time because it's a long story. I don't want to get into it, but you know, I have fought one of my brothers. He had no compassion for me, that I was his sister, that I was younger than him, smaller than him, and weaker than him. He fought me as if I was a guy off the street that he didn't even know. You know, I had one brother to throw a pair of scissors at me, and they actually stuck in my leg. I'm walking and the scissors are sticking out of my leg. So going from that to the relationship with my son's father, when he first hit me, it wasn't like, oh my God, this man just hit me, let me leave. He hit me, my mind automatically was like, okay, he hit you, hit him back. So every time we fought, it was always mutual combat. I never just let him hit me and just get away with it. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing or whatever. It's just that my mindset was like that. He hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. And so that's so we actually like fought each other. And 9 times out of 10, he was the one who was walking away, because I'm not gonna just let you handle me any type of way, even though you're bigger than me, stronger than me. I'm gonna get some licks in. So on this one particular time, he did not come home. So when he came home the next day, we get into an argument. And this particular time, it's like I was running from him and I was going to go into the bedroom, but he caught me in between the bedroom and the hallway. So he's on top of me, and he actually put his hands around my neck and he starts choking me. As I'm looking up at him, like trying to get his arms off me and push him off me and trying to fight him off me, I'm seeing in his eyes that they're like no life, like they're blank. And I'm just steady trying to get this man off me, and I can't. And then like being in that position where you're in between a doorway, there's really nothing I can do with him and all his weight on me, plus his hand around my neck, and he's choking me. Like I said before, we had violent incidents. You know, he has gave me a black eye. He has bust my lip. There was one occasion when he pulled a gun out on me. He had a 9mm. He pulled it out on me. He's sitting on the couch telling me that if I ever left him, he would kill me. He didn't know I had my .380 on me, so I pulled it out. So now we're both sitting on the couch with guns pointed at each other. And then he asked me, you know, are you going to shoot me? I'm like, yeah, if you shoot me, I'm going to shoot you back. Because that's the mentality I had. And, you know, he even shot me with a BB gun one time. But at no point in time, all that I've been through with this person, at no point in time have I ever felt like he's going to kill me. Have I ever feared for my life with him? I was more mad than scared. I was more hurt than fearful. But I never thought this man was going to kill me. But this one particular day, I don't know why, I'm laying there, he's choking me, and I'm thinking in my head, this is how I'm going to die. He's going to actually kill me. So because I'm thinking I'm going to die, in my mind, I'm still trying to get him off me. I'm still trying to fight him off me. He's still just choking me, putting pressure on me. But at the same time, in my mind, I start talking to God. I'm confessing all my sins, things that I think are sins, things that may not have been sin. I'm just confessing everything because I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to die. when I die, I want to wake up in heaven. So I'm just telling, just going through my head, forgive me for this, forgive me for that, and everything. At no point in time I ask God to save my life. I'm just confessing so when my life is gone, I can be in heaven. So as I'm talking to God, asking for forgiveness for different things, I hear another voice in my head that says, stop fighting. So I just lay back and just kind of relax, because in my mind I'm thinking, okay, this is it. God's coming to get me. I'm gonna die, and I just need to just surrender to death. So as I'm laying there, he's still choking me. He still has his hands around my throat. He's putting pressure on me. It's getting harder and harder for me to breathe. So when I hear the same voice again in my head, it says, say something. And I'm kind of like, okay, say something. I'm thinking to myself, say something. So I say, I open my mouth and I say something, but because he's choking me, it's more of broken words, my lips moving, and a whisper. So he didn't hear me, so he kind of let up pressure from me and was like, what? And I said to him, I guess it's easier for you to kill me than it is for you to love me. As I said that to him, he just completely released me, but he's still sitting on top of me. He's looking down at me. I'm looking up at him, and he says, he's looking kind of confused, and then he said to me, what kind of shit is that to say? He gets up, and I'm still laying there in this position. He gets up, and I hear him open the door, and the door closed behind him. I'm laying there confused, because I'm like, okay, what just happened? I'm kind of confused, I'm disappointed, but I'm not disappointed in the man who just tried to kill me. I'm not confused about him leaving. What I'm confused about is why God didn't allow him to kill me. I wanted to die at that point. I was ready to die at that point. I'm thinking I'm surrendering. I done confessed all my sins. I'm surrendering. I'm thinking you're telling me to surrender to my death, so when I wake up, I can be in heaven. So now I'm feeling disappointed. I'm feeling rejected by God. Not by him, but by God, because I feel like you didn't want me in heaven. You didn't want me to die. And instead of me being, okay, happy, I lived, I didn't die, I get up off the floor just really confused, like, what did I do wrong that God don't want me in heaven? Because that's how mentally messed up I was. Coming from a dysfunctional family, I wasn't looking for a dysfunctional relationship, but I ended up in one. And when you're dealing with dysfunctional people, it's a lot of mind control going in, because they want to manipulate you and control you to do what they want to do. And being in a relationship, like I said, coming from a dysfunctional family, being in a relationship with a man like that, seeing that going on around me, at no point in time did I say, this is not normal. That was my normal. I seen other women get abused. I seen, I would come up and people be fighting. It wasn't like, oh, let me call the police, they're fighting. It's like, okay, what happened? I'm sitting there, we're sitting there watching a person fighting, man and woman fighting, having a conversation, like really nothing's going on. Oh, what? Oh, okay, yeah, okay, that went on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because it was normal. It wasn't something that you was like, oh my God, let me see if I could break this up, or oh my God, let me do it. You just sat there and watched, or you just went on about your business. It wasn't called the police. It was just something that was normal. It wasn't right, but it was normal. So a lot of times, if you haven't been in those situations, if you haven't been a person that has been abused before or been in a dysfunctional relationship, sometimes it's easy to look at the person and say, why didn't you leave? Or say to them, you should just leave. I don't understand why you're still staying there. It's easy to say that. And sometimes when you say that, that puts that person who you're talking to on defense. They become defensive, and because it's like they're used to people trying to manipulate them, they're used to people trying to control them, and so they automatically kind of get in a defensive mode, even if you're coming to them with the right information, but it's just how the information is presented to them that they're being resistant to. And so they're seeing you as instead of seeing you as an ally, they're seeing you as someone they need to defend themselves against, or defend their life against, or defend their choices against. So I'm not saying that if you're in a dysfunctional, abusive relationship, I'm not saying don't leave. But I'm saying if you're a person dealing with a person like that, you have to understand that it's more to them, more to the situation than being abused. It's a lot more going on a mental level. So the best thing you can do, I do suggest, yes, say to them leave, but also say to them, why do you choose to stay? What makes you want to stay with this person? What other options do you have? Because if you're not giving that person's option, all you're saying is don't do this or leave, but there's no option, what are they supposed to do? Because if you would have just told me to leave and do what? Leave and go where? You know, it's like a lot of times people just throw information out there, well, you should do this or you should do that, but they don't follow it up by, this is what you shouldn't do this, but this is what you can do. Here are some options for you. If you're going to talk to a person, always give them options. Don't tell them what to do or what they should do, or if I was you, this is what I do. Give them options based on who they are. Give them options based on the situation they're in. Give them options based on their needs. A lot of times people just want to give blanket help. They give the same answers to everybody, but everybody is different. So if you spend time and talk to that person and try to understand that person's point of view, like I was saying, until you walk a mile in my shoes, you truly don't understand me. You truly don't understand what I'm going through. So if you're going to talk to a person that's being abusive, be their friend first. Don't try to give them advice on what they should and shouldn't do. Be their friend first. Try to understand why they're in that situation. Try to understand why they're not leaving from that situation. You're on the outside trying to look into a situation that you know absolutely nothing about. So it's like, try to at least, if you're going to truly want to help that person, help that person. You know, give them, if you feel like you're not the person that can give them what they need, find information for them. Say, okay, here's a phone number for domestic abuse. Here's this, here's that. But don't just go out there, leave. You know, are you going to take care of them? If they leave, the person might not have a job. Are you willing to take care of them? Are you willing to pay their bills? Are you willing to set them up in an apartment? You know, whatever their needs are. If they don't have a car and they got, you know, they need, and their job is wherever, and they need a vehicle, are you going to do that? Are you going to be that person for them? Are you going to fill the void that this person is filling? Because sometimes people be in the relationship because the other person, even though they're bad, even though they're not the greatest person in the world, sometimes they're filling a void in that person's life that they feel they need at that particular point in time. So are you going to fill that void to allow them to walk away? So unless you know what that void is and you know what you're dealing with, just don't throw information out there and just kind of leave them hanging, because now they feel like they don't have anyone. You really think they're going to come back to you and say, okay, this is going on, this is going on. That's why a lot of people be saying, well, I never knew that this person was being abused. I never knew, because of the way when they did tell them something, the way they responded. They didn't, communication has went out the door. I truly feel that. I feel like people do not verbally look at, really just put everything down, face the person they're talking to, and really try to understand, try to sympathize, try to whatever to that person to know where that person is coming from. When you don't do that, you're going to be dealing with a person who's going to actually shut down. You're not helping that person in any type of way. So if you are in an abusive relationship, yes, I do suggest get help. I'm not saying stay there, but I do understand that sometimes there's complication tied in with that. Sometimes people are threatened to the point, because like I said, I've been with this man, he done pointed a gun at me. He done did, shot me with a BB gun. He done gave me a black eye, busted my lip. But because I was so dysfunctional, That did not scare me. Only when I could not breathe and he was actually choking me that I felt that I was going to die. But I still stayed with him after that because I wanted my son to be raised by his father. Even though I had a choice to be there, I could have left at any time. My child did not have a choice. So I wasn't being a great mom in that aspect to my son. I wasn't, protecting my son in a way because he should have never been in that environment. He should have never went through any of the arguments, the fights, or anything like that. He should have never been witness to that visually or being able to hear arguments. So I felt him in that way. But because my desire of wanting to have a family, wanted to be with the person who I had a child with, that kind of made me want to stay. Probably I would have left sooner if I didn't have a child with him, because I've probably been looking at, it's just me and him. Okay, I'm done. But at the same time, because it's like even if I leave, I'm still gonna be attached to him at least for 18 years. So it's like I wanted it to work and I wanted to work it out. And if I sit here and say all the times I've been with him was bad, every day was awful, I would be lying. In spite of us fighting, there was good days. There was, and I did have enjoyment with him. I did have nice conversations with him. There was times he would treat me nice. He wasn't talking down to me. He wasn't being abusive and everything. So it's like all this stuff is like interwebbed together that it's kind of hard to just pull it apart. It's something that person, the two people that's in that relationship, that person has to negotiate and kind of maneuver and change their mindset and kind of get an understanding that this is not normal. I don't want to live like this, and the only way I'm going to change the situation, because I cannot change that other person, is I have to change. I have to leave. So just if you know someone like that, or if you are that person that's in that relationship, just know that there is better for, if you're in that relationship, there is better for you. Do whatever you can to get away. Start, even if you tell no one, start making plans in your head. So it's like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, this is how I'm going to leave. Because I know sometimes it might be you're scared for your kids, not even for yourself, for your kids, because that person might have threatened your kids. And so, you have to kind of see, okay, if I leave, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? How am I going to protect myself? But like I said, if there's abuse hotlines out there that you can reach out to, that you can maybe get help from, or if you really got those type of friends who see you as a person and not just someone they're trying to give advice to, they see you as a person, they understand what you're going through, and they do want better for you. If you have those type of friends in your life, you're very blessed. And, let them help you as much as they can. And, try to be as honest with you, because I know everybody don't tell everything, because sometimes certain things they feel shameful about. So I do understand that. But, try to get as much help as you can. If you know someone that's in an abusive relationship, don't look down at them. Don't talk down to them. Don't tell them, oh, you stupid for staying. Be a friend. Be a real friend and actually hear them. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so, oh, I'm going to get information so I can run and tell someone else. Oh, yeah, she told me this. Oh, she told me he did that. Don't be that type of person. Be a true friend. And if you really, really want to help. If you don't, stay out of it. Let them deal with it on their own, because you're not helping the situation. And so that's how I feel about that. That's what I wanted to share. And another thing I've seen, like a lot of times you see people post different things, and this is not anyone in particular or anything in particular, but I've seen something that was posted that said, straighten your life out first before you try to change the world. When I first read that, I agreed with it. Then I seen it posted again somewhere else, in some cases I agree with it, but then in some cases I don't agree with it. Because if you think about it, 9 times out of 10, the people that are helping people are people that are damaged. People who have went through situations. And sometimes certain things you go through, you really never get over. Even though you want to get over it, you really never get over it. Because if you think about Alcoholics Anonymous, these are the people who run the program are recovering, not recovered, recovering alcoholics. And they're just farther along in their process of recovering than the person they're helping. And the reason they're there and the reason they make good allies to these people is because they went through what this person is going through. I have drunk alcohol before, I have smoked weed before, but I don't know what it is to be an alcoholic. I don't know what it is to be so dependent on drugs or on alcohol to the point that it ruins my whole life. But these people, because they have been there, certain things this person might say, this person, without them even finishing their sentence, they're like, yeah, I understand. Yeah, I remember when I went through that. Yeah, I had that same thing happen to me. So like I said, walk a mile in my shoes. The person who's helping them with their miles are the ones who already done walked that mile. So sometimes you don't have to be 100% better to help someone else. You just have to say, okay, I've been through that, I understand, and you have to be willing to help. Because there are some people out there that goes through things and they have the mindset, oh, no one helped me, no one told me, I had to figure it out myself. So guess what? You're gonna have to figure that out yourself, and I feel that's selfish. If you done been through a situation and you can help someone, help them. Even if it's just advice and you're feeling like, okay, they're not hearing me. They hear you. They might not process it right that moment. It might take them a while to process it, but because you threw it out there, because you put it out there, because you seen them in a situation that you wanted them, you felt that I've been through this, I understand what you're going through, and so I'm going to try to help you, get out of that. Even if you don't want to hear me right now, you can always come to me later, and I'm an open door. You can talk to me. Be that type of person. It's a lot of people that's hurting in this world. It's a lot of people that's suffering in this world, and it's a lot of selfish people in the world who really don't give a damn. And it hurts me when I see things like that, when I know people can help and they choose not to, just because no one helped them. Unfortunately, no one helped you, but that shouldn't stop you from helping someone else. So that's all I wanted to say. Like I said, I hope what I'm seeing helps someone and, help them either be a better friend to someone who may be going through certain situations in their lives, or if they have went through certain situations in their life, to kind of reach back and pull the next person out. Because, why sit back and watch people suffering when you can do something about it? And so that's why I'm posting this video. Hopefully someone can see it who needed to hear it. But that's basically all I wanted to say. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.